With Rahul Jain, the Vice President at Dolat Capital, who's joining us on India Tonight. Welcome to the show, Rahul Jain. Very good evening. You know, while Paytm's banking unit is going to have to stop operations tomorrow, like my colleague was telling us, it is going to continue to be a payments app provider now that it has got this license from NPCI. How significant do you think is this for the longevity of Paytm's business model, its fortunes as a company, and, of course, as a stock as well?
Yeah, thanks for having me. So essentially, we have to understand that there is a certain role that each party has to play in the payment ecosystem. So since PPBL was supposed to be de-alienated from the Paytm, there was a need for other payment service provider to be partnered to ensure that Paytm can continue to play in the UPI ecosystem. And based on the previous FAQ and subsequent clarification issued by the RBI in its circular, it was mentioned that many large banks would essentially have to take care given the scale of operation that the Paytm has, and more banks with scalability been delivered in the past should come into front to do this partnership with now we have the names of those banks. It looks like it could be a smoother transition, and more importantly there is mention of this Yes Bank to be a payment acquisition side, merchant acquisition side as well, which also clearly gives path that once this migration happens smoothly, they would be back into the merchant acquisition mode, which earlier letter suggested that they should limit it to only to the existing user till the migration happens smoothly. So I think that way, both this development, if we look together, gives confidence in terms of the sustainability of the business run rate and should help stock revive bit in terms of the kind of valuation it is trading from. So that way it looks pretty positive to me.
So, the transition, you think, is going to be smooth, and that's going to ensure sustainability of their business over at Paytm. But Rahul Jain, there is PhonePe and there is Google Pay. These are the two largest UPI payment apps in the country. Paytm is the third largest, and now that Paytm has this chance to migrate its mandates and handles to other banks, how do you reckon this is going to play on the competitive landscape of UPI now, and what are the challenges that you foresee in the near future for Paytm going ahead from here?
Yeah, I mean, PhonePe and Google Pay are larger in terms of the number of user and the total volume that they handle. But there is a slight nuance in terms of what is the P2P volume and what is the P2M volume. And if you see, most monetization happen only on the P2M side of the breakup. So since we don't have what is the volume breakup for all the three party in the P2M side, which NPCI has stopped publishing for quite some years now. So that is where, it is very difficult to understand where the exact competitive landscape is in terms of the volume. If you look at the total NPCI volume for the month of February, which has been already published, we can see definitely Paytm has seen some moderation, while the other two players have seen some increase in that volume. So yes, to that degree, there is some slippage out there. But we know that the revenue of Paytm is way higher compared to other two players,
Right.
which means the monetization model on this volume have been way higher for Paytm. So
Right.
there is a good possibility that as these things would smoothen out,
Yes.
they will be able to compete pretty well back the way they used to do earlier.
We'll
So
have
I
to
don't
see
see
exactly
that
how
as a
that
major
recovery
thing.
plays out on the stock and, of course, the future prospects of the company and its profitability. That's something that we're going to monitor. But altogether, this is positive news for Paytm, like you're pointing out. Thanks very much for joining us with your perspective on India Tonight. Pleasure having you with us.